What is up, kiddos? Today we are sitting on the floor because I am super stoked to introduce you to one of my passions, which is books, literature. Um, One of the greatest things, one of the best ways to get another person's perspective, experience the world, go on magnificent journeys. We love reading on this channel. And so, to celebrate that we love reading, and basically just so that I can talk about books and maybe someone will listen, I'm going to be telling you 5 books that I think that you should read right now. I've tried to vary up these recommendations a little bit, so honestly, you might love one and hate another. I guess what I'm saying is, of these 5 books, I hope that one might be your new favorite book. So, let's just get into it. I'm super excited. The first book that I want to tell y'all about is The Door by Magda Szabo. This is just stunning. I don't even have words for how incredible this book is. It's translated from Hungarian. I love translated literature. I think that English speakers kind of can have a narrow focus and miss out on so much fantastic literature that was written in another language. And translators themselves are artists, and what the translators do to bring these foreign works to life, just chef's kiss. I love it so much. So The Door is a story about a writer, a woman, whose neighbor is this older woman who is very mysterious, and she always wears a veil, and basically this old woman sort of represents old Hungary, and the writer, this other woman, represents the new Hungary. So there's a lot of symbolism. There are a lot of vivid, gorgeous descriptions. The writing in this book, just the writing, the language itself is just so gorgeous. And this book is incredible. The Door. That's my first recommendation. This entire shelf right here on my bookshelf is all translated works. There are some other translated works scattered about as well, but I love translated literature. So the next one, book number 2, is, as you can probably see, Kurt Vonnegut is one of my absolute favorites. If you know about Kurt Vonnegut, you're probably looking at my selection and going, bitch, where is Slaughterhouse-Five? I don't know. I can't find my copy of Slaughterhouse-Five. It's devastating. I hope that I can, or I have to just get a new one, because Slaughterhouse-Five was one of the books that made me fall in love with literature, period. It's fantastic. But that's not my recommendation for today, because my favorite Kurt Vonnegut novel is a bit of a sleeper. It's a one you don't hear about all that often. Not Player Piano, not Sirens of Titan, no. My Vonnegut recommendation is Galapagos. This is, in my opinion, probably the best place to start if you want to get into Kurt Vonnegut. It's funny, it's clever, it's devastating, and it has some very insightful things to say about the human condition. But it's essentially about a group of people who all come from varying walks of life, and they're getting on a cruise to the Galapagos. But while on this cruise, a nuclear apocalypse takes place, essentially. And I won't spoil any more than that, but this is hilarious, and like you will be thinking about it for a long time after you finish it. It just, like, it kind of punches you in the gut at the same time as it makes you like laugh your guts out. It's fantastic. Galapagos. So the next book on our list is my YA pick for everyone. This is The Last Book in the Universe by Rodman Philbrick, who I believe has a bit of a name for himself as far as children's literature, YA. But I haven't heard anyone ever talk about this book or that has ever heard of it. And it is another chef's kiss. This thing is fantastic, and it's such an easy, fast read because it's like written for 5th graders, which is about when I read it for the first time. And it's a dystopia where everyone essentially plugs their brains into an alternate world, and they all just live in this alternate world. But our main character has epilepsy, so he can't participate in this drug essentially because it will give him a seizure. So it follows this boy in this world where books don't exist anymore because everybody is just plugging into the matrix essentially. And it's a love letter to fiction itself. It's a story about family and love and identity, and it's fantastic. And if you want something that's fast and like a page turner but also has a lot of profound and beautiful things to say, the last book in the universe. It is so good. The next book on our list, I'm going to take us back to Hungary. Hungarian literature. I could talk about it until your eyes glaze over, if they're not glazed over already. But one of my favorite authors of all time, you can see I have many of his books, is Laszlo Krasznahorkai. Many people recommend that if you're getting into his work is difficult. I will say if you are intrigued by this and you want to read one of his books, many people recommend starting with The Last Wolf and Herman, which is what I'm actually reading right now. Yes, I use shell wrappers as bookmarks. I think it's very on brand. But I did not start with The Last Wolf. I actually started with the book that I want to recommend to you today, The World Goes On. Can we first say, what a cover. This thing is gorgeous. How could you not buy this when you see it in the store? Which is essentially why I bought it. And then I opened it and I was like, wait a second, is this entire book one sentence? And the answer is yes, it is. This one sentence. And that's why I said his books are so difficult and it might seem so daunting, but I highly recommend this. I'm kind of stalling because I want to tell you what this book is about. Genuinely, I have no idea. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I have read this 3 times. I don't know. All I know is it's beautiful. The way that he uses language is just mind-blowing. You will be reading this going, how? How does this man's mind work? It almost makes me angry how smart this person is. And this book is just a stunning piece of art. If you want something that's going to challenge you and just expand your idea of what literature itself can be, it's my boy Laszlo. This is it. This is peak. This is like, I don't even know how to describe it, but I hope that I've sold it. Or maybe I've made you go, oh my God, I will never read his work ever. And I mean, that's fair. If you're more on the vibe of the last book in the universe, you want a dystopian romp with a feel-good ending, great. If you want to read this and have no clue what the fuck is going on, but know that it's beautiful, I've got you. I've got recommendations for everyone. So, moving on. Okay, and the final book that I want to talk to you about today is, I guess, sort of YA. Again, I think one of the reasons this book is kind of slept on, in a way, is that it's branded as YA. It's kind of, it presents itself as young adult, but it is dark and violent to degrees that I don't think YA typically is. So it's kind of in this weird niche that doesn't exist. That book is The Copper Elephant by Adam Rapp. And this book is like, it's kind of emotional for me. I have a strong connection to this book. It's another dystopia, but it's a coming-of-age story about an 11-year-old girl named Wednesday and it's written in her voice to a degree that takes a while to get used to. She uses a lot of slang, and like it's written in dialect. But once you catch on, it's a ride. It just really captures you, and you really care about her. And the things that happen to her in this book are terrifying and horrific, and it has this really dark tone, but through the eyes of this young girl who, at the end of the day, is just an 11-year-old girl. And it's so powerful, it's so beautiful. I highly recommend. So those are my 5 book recs for the day. I could do more. I could go literally all day. I could recommend every book on this shelf and more. So perhaps I'll do that in the future, but for today, I think we will call that it. And I hope that at least one of these books captures your interest and your imagination. And that's it. I love you. I wish you the best. Bye.